Hello. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. You know, all of a sudden, I just realized that I had gone out before and it was sunny and beautiful. And I asked Robert, should we be outside? And he said, no. Well, it just turned cold. So thank you, Robert. Welcome. Welcome to the Advancement Center. And welcome to the world of magic and miracles. Once again, I greet you as I have for several years on Sunday, and I'm flanked by David, Genya, and Robert on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And yesterday, we all were graced by an amazing transmission from Simeon. It was my honor to edit the transcript, electronically transcribed by Dragon, uh, who means well, but is far from accurate. Listening to the broadcast was amazing. Listening to friends' responses after the broadcast revealed much about the speakers. And my own experience of editing surprised me with a released level of energy that I have never experienced before. I sailed through the rest of the day with an energy that I have not known before. One of those responses to the broadcast, I'm going to just quote a little bit because it comes from our dear friend Tim. He said, the magnitude of this transmission can't be expressed enough, and yet the value of words isn't enough as well. Reading and hearing the words again brought everything back with vivid clarity, and so recognizing the immensity of today, so much was delivered, loaded, potent, and totality. Such a sense of exhilaration, peace, contentment, fulfillment, and completion. There is so much I'd like to quote, but that would literally be the entire transmission. Tim is one of the reasons I choose to edit every broadcast of Roberts and Simeon. They're priceless. They're precious. Thank you. Simeon said something, and it has to do with understanding. And he just said it so simply that you can't miss it. The simplicity of your connection. That understanding is the only understanding that you need, and it's from a physical sense, a sense of security, a sense of realization, and an active sense of connection to the world of your Creator. It's where you belong. That is why I'm so excited and happy to be sharing this with you today. This understanding of the simplicity of my connection to my Creator has given me wings, as I'm sure it gives you all wings. Have you ever been told in words something that unlocks a forgotten door and takes you to a secret garden? On Earth, that just happens in fairy tales. Or maybe in a Disney movie. But think of that secret garden that is now available to you, where we constantly tell you that it belongs to you. If you missed Simeon yesterday, you can always watch it on the Advancement Center YouTube. And if you're prompted, email me at the Advancement Center, and I promise I will send the transcript to you. I just feel that these connections made, each with our Creator, will magically change the world. And that's why the Advancement Center is here. I think you're getting the message that each and every one of you are so important to us all, because all together we form one community. The Advancement Center team holds space apart for all to see and to relocate their dreams, their gifts, and their connection. We learn from each other, and this past Friday, I was moved by David's writing and delivery of walking in the world of spirit. Here it is in another voice. I read it to you now. And I thank David beforehand for the experience. Walking in the world of spirit. No guile, no competition, no hierarchy, No manipulation, no deceit, no jealousy, no comparisons, no measurements. Authentic, transparent, full of integrity, full of care and kindness, full of self-assuredness, full of all you need, lacking nothing in yourself. This is where we are going. This is what is coming. This is what is here. It is our true nature, our nature of spirit. Come and walk with me in the world of spirit and let the nature of the human and all the difficulties fall away. Feel yourself floating, walking on air with a smile on your face as you skip along over and above all the challenges in this human life. Know yourself as spirit, as creator, and feel your life change with that one awareness, with that one simple awareness. You expand beyond everything and you can feel yourself everywhere. Wow. When you experience this in yourself, this physical reality and all that it represents appears to you like a grain of sand on an infinite beach of possibilities. And any problems that you thought you had are by proportion 1,000 times smaller than that grain of sand. So, for all intents and purposes, they have disappeared. Now, to stay here in this place, that is the challenge. For in the moment of disturbance, that picture completely flips around. The physical reality has expanded for infinity, and the world of spirit is like a grain of sand. And the problems by equal proportion become 1,000 times bigger for all intents and purposes, bigger than life. We have come into this human body to lift humanity to its remembrance of their connection to their spirit. We are divine beings that are inhabiting a physical form, which is an amazing creation of technology. We have been supported at every turn, in every incarnation, in spite of some of the choices that we have made. Yeah. To assist and lead the advancement of humanity to its awareness of being spirit and the freedom that has always belonged to them. We have been brought to a union with all the aspects of ourselves and with our Creator. And because of this, the channel of communications with our world of spirit has opened to an unprecedented level. We are hearing from Simeon, from the masters, angels, and those that have passed, as well as our twin, other magnificent entities, and our Creator. We are beginning to live in the world of no time and space. And those beings are appearing right next to you because you are actually where they are. You are living where they live. So when you feel that there is a presence right next to you, there is. But soon you will realize that they are not right next to you, but that you are right next to them. Today, who you are is being elevated to a new level so that you can come out of the background and lead. It is you. It is you. It has always been you, supported by beings that are your equal, not in any way above you. And now it is time for you to step forward, to step to the front, and do what you have always wanted to do. And that is to give away what has been given to you, to help each one remember who they are, and to let everyone know in your own perfect way that they are a living, eternal spirit, wearing a garment that we call a body and visiting a physical dimension that we call Earth. The support has kept the path straight as the energy has increased. They have kept the road flat, safe, and easy to travel, keeping us from following something or someone who would not allow us to reach our destination. But no matter what happens, know that you are and have always been walking in the world of spirit. Thank you, David. That is so important, as is all your writing. And now it's come to that moment where I have had the pleasure and the honor to have met Simeon back in 2009, halfway across the globe in Australia. And I have written to him ever since. I wrote this at 7 o'clock this morning. Okay. I think I'm going to read what I wrote last night to him as I was thinking about this broadcast. Dearest Simeon, my head and my heart are ringing with your life-affirming broadcast, followed by our own family finding new I can't read my own writing, so I'll skip right over that. Oh, yes. Yeah, our own family finding new superlatives to capture their feelings of peace, joy, and newness. Some could not even speak after the direct contact and embrace of our Creator. In your voice and delivered by Robert, I was energized after the blessed transcript was delivered. I forged ahead with another chore with more energy than ever before. Robert has gone to sleep, and I'm still feeling the joy and elation of my participation as a listener, a celebrant, and an editor. And it's an honor. So much is felt as if dropped. I forget that. I can't even read my own writing, so I apologize. Silly goose. Okay. To which he answered me, Dearest Barbara, your joy while editing is your magic, as you sprinkle sparkles and your love to the message. Robert volunteered every ounce of his energy to the delivery of this nurturance and nourishment of humanity. Your broadcast will be a reflection of your day today. Relax and savor the feeling of your participation and support. We love you. Love, Simeon. Okay, now we get to this morning. I just reheard your transmission in Robert's voice and feel filled with a calm perfection. Robert is sitting at his desk in the corner between two windows that join at the corner and gives us an expanded view of the trees and extended slope of ground cover where visitors arrive in the form of deer, roadrunners, rabbits, and others. The incessant thought that keeps recurring is, quote, this is what you have always envisioned for your home someday. In my heart, I have always known my true love with Robert, and I just oh, yeah, and I just realized that I had to go through the exercise of being here on earth before arriving home, this side of heaven. I just met you both in Australia and knew that our home was waiting for us in Santa Barbara. Even that was a fleeting feeling when I visited Santa Barbara years ago. to translate these feelings of certainty for my broadcast. I await your words. Dearest Barbara, may I remind you that we have always known you in your costume as human on Earth. May I also remind you that it took and still takes focused energy for the essence of you to express the simplicity of your conversation to your creator and your connection. The magic of the moment is the secret you have been carrying this lifetime. And I refer to those 7 years when you discovered your magic, when you served in many roles in a mammoth psychiatric state hospital system. You single-handedly saved the 7,000 bed facility by writing a 3-year operational plan. When you told the director of the hospital that you would need guidance and assistance because you know nothing about the hospital, he curtly replied, "Do you think I would not get the directors to give you information and assistance?" Well, I accepted the project and received none. No assistance, not even a secretary or a typist. And now I'll just tell you a few things. I sat in my office. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to begin. And I had a dear friend who was a lawyer. But that didn't help me. So the first thing I said, well, I think there should be a list of all the patients. There wasn't. I went into the office, and you know those they're thin, and they slide in, and then you just flip, and each patient is on a card. So there are maybe about 35 in one drawer. Well, there were a lot of patients. And so I had to have that to work with. So I remember taking those shelves, or the metal drawers, turning them upside down on a copy machine, and I made a roster of a 7,000 bed hospital. That alone is quite something. But that was just the beginning. No one helped me. Everyone avoided me. My lawyer friend would come after work, and we'd battle out some more information that we made up. In fact, I was even accused of leaving the lights on overnight. I said, no, we were there. I was there. At any rate, it was quite a challenge. I mean, I think of it now, and I said, how did I even begin to think about it? Well, it got done. And I gave it to the director, and he sent it out to every state hospital in the state of New York. I don't know how many that is. And he didn't make many changes. just one. He took my name off and put his name on. So that, I mean, just thinking about it, that was my experience, left, right, and center of that hospital. And I know I've told you a few anecdotes with the teenage boys, but I was a therapist, and I walked around and I realized these are all people who were children, who came into the world innocent. What happened? Well, one story, I saw her privately. Her name was Joan, and meticulously dressed, but she insisted on wearing white gloves. So she came into my office and we would talk. And then one day she just said, "You know, Barbara, you're very intelligent." I said, "Thank you." This young lady was about to graduate summa cum laude from Vassar College. And she was so furious with her mother, she flipped out. And she never graduated. And what I can't understand is that she must be crazy, so they threw her into the hospital. Thank God she got me as a therapist. And she sat there and she spoke, and she was a brilliant young lady. Unfortunately, I don't know what's happened. I hope her life came together. But this one incident, which will tell you why I don't know what happened, is she kept telling me no one understands. I mean, everyone is so stupid. At any rate, one day we were summoned to the director of the hospital, Dr. Werner. Big, beautiful mahogany office. And we walked over, and she insisted that I go with her. So we were in the waiting room, and he came out, very affable, nice man. And he said, "Come on in, Joan." And she looked at me and I said, "He'll be fine." And so they went in and I sat in the waiting room until finally Dr. Werner poked his head out. He said, "Would you get in here, please? She won't say a word to me." Me? So I walked in, sat down next to Joan, and she proceeded to tell me how this man has no farthing of an idea of what she's talking about. So I calmed her down, and we managed to have a little bit of a conversation. And he complimented her on how well she was doing, and we left. So the next day when I came into work, I received a message to come to the administration building. So I thought, oh, they're gonna recognize that some progress has been made with this young lady named Joan. And I walked in with holding my head up high, and the woman behind the desk handed me a pink slip. You can't be too good anywhere. You have to be come in under whatever they have set up. So there I was. I was just fired because of a little success. I'm just realizing how much experience I've had. And I have. So each Sunday I'll come and tell you another story. But just one more. When I was the recreational therapist in the geriatric division of a hospital in Brooklyn, and it's really quite amazing because at the time I thought I was being punished for having to drive an hour and a half each way, work in this place. It's terrible. And now I see what Simeon said. It gave me the place to realize the magic that we all have. Because people woke up. People connected. And I'll just tell you one quick story about Isaac. It can't be a quick story. But all I can say is he was on a hunger strike because he said the food there tasted like wet paper bags. And he was not going to subject himself. He even tried to take his life because he said, this is crazy. He had been a friend of Khalil Gibran. But that's a whole other story I'll share with you. And when he said that, and by the way, I was not allowed to speak to him because I was too successful. I didn't realize what was going on. But at any rate, this was after hours. And when he said he was on a hunger strike, he wasn't going to eat that food, I said, don't move. I'll be right back. This was the third floor. My office was on the second. I ran down the steps, picked up that chicken noodle soup that you put boiling water in. And I had a few crackers and maybe a little cheese thing. And I brought it back upstairs. We went to the break room where the staff would have their coffee. No one was there. It was empty. And I'll never forget it. We sat at the corner of the table. I sat here and he sat there, savoring this chicken noodle soup. And he said, why are you here? You should be home with your family. I said, I am with my family. So the happy ending is I had to leave that position, but I put him in the charge of a very dear friend of mine who was an art therapist. And I said, you take care of Isaac. You make sure he's released. And I later found out, I just realized I have to write this story. But I realized, and she said, he's in Israel and he's a chef on a kibbutz. That's why I was at that hospital. It's not going back and reliving. It's the emerging of why I was there in the first place. To have these experiences and building and leaving a trail of connection, of caring, of not allowing people to go to a dead end. It was, now I can say it, it was a remarkable experience of finding what I could possibly be capable of. And it was wonderful. And you're wonderful because connection is what it's all about. Reunion, communion, and love. Thank you for joining me and knowing that all of this union takes us all to a perfect life, perfect health, and a truly magic future. Thank you for listening. I am Barbara.